Hey, what's happening, people? How y'all doing? Welcome, 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 welcome. It's Sunday, 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 and I'm here. You're here. I hope everybody's doing well. Oh, let's see. Still making some adjustments here. Let's see what we got going on here. Do. I am live, live, live Sunday on Messages in the Madness. Okay, there we go. Just double checking some things and making sure that you guys can hear me okay. So I'm gonna pop that real quick. Yes, because see, we've been having some technical difficulty, but I'm here. And I'm so glad that you are here. Make sure you hit like or love when you come in. Let me know that you're, hey, Mr. Ned, how you doing? Yeah. Hey, Miss Coley, good to see you as well. Hope everything is well. Family missed y'all, of course. I'm happy that it's Sunday. I look forward to my Sunday, spending time with you guys. Um, hey, daughter, good to see you as well. Give my grandson a hug for me. Won't you do that for me, okay, Mr. Basil? So yeah, there's that. Hey, Annette, good to see you as well. Looking into my magic mirror and saying hey to everybody there because that's what we do. It was a beautiful day here in St. Louis. I hope you had a fabulous week and a great weekend. Hope you got a great week planned ahead. Tonight's show is called, oh, wait a minute. There was something I was supposed to do today. Forgot what it was. But okay, loud and clear, great. But tonight's show is called The Loneliness of Being the Strong One. And oh, he's with the sitter. Okay. But yeah, it's called The Loneliness of Being the Strong One. So hey, Roger, good to see you as well. Hope you and Jaden are doing fine, doing well. I'm gonna need some interaction from you guys tonight. I know I've said a long time ago to sometimes you have to listen to learn and not listen to react. Tonight I'm gonna need y'all to chime in a little bit, okay? So here we go. Again, welcome to Messages in the Madness. I'm your host, Vernon Longhorn Davis. We do this every Sunday night. We broadcast on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So if you like the message, be sure to like, love, and share it, okay? So, I was sitting here the other day thinking about something that never really crossed my mind when I was younger. And that was who checks on the person that everybody else depends on. Who does that? Who does that checking? I'm not talking about the person who's always asking for help. We usually notice them. Their hands are always raised. Their emergencies are loud. They make the world uh, knows that they're having a little trouble, and we expect them to need us. No, I'm not talking about a different breed of person. I'm talking about the one who always seems to have everything under control, the one who fixes problems before anybody else in the room even realizes there's a problem to be fixed. Hey, brother August, good to see you. The one whose phone rings at 2 o'clock in the morning because they are the structural pillar everyone calls when life gets messy and the roof starts caving in. Oh man, I forgot to bring my handkerchief down here tonight. We all know somebody like that. We do. If you close your eyes right now, a face will pop in your head. Maybe it's your mom or who kept the whole house running, or maybe it's your dad or who worked two jobs and never complained about being tired, or you got a supervisor at work, or your pastor or your best friend who always has the perfect words to say, the perfect advice. Maybe it's the person sitting right next to you right now, or maybe if you're being completely honest with yourself under the quiet of these lights tonight, maybe it's you. Maybe you're that person. And the funny thing about human nature is that we spend on those, and we rarely stop to ask if they're getting tired. We look at them and think, oh, they got it. They can handle it. Uh, they built different. They don't bend, and they certainly don't break. So I've been thinking about that. Thank you. I've been thinking about that a lot lately, actually, because I've spent a good part of my life trying to be that guy. For decades, my phone is rung because somebody needed something. Sometimes they wanted professional advice or needed a little bit of encouragement to get through a rough patch. And sometimes they just wanted me to step in and solve a complicated problem. And it's usually a problem that they couldn't figure out on their own. Now, I'm honored and blessed that people view me in that light. Even now and then, I have to laugh because I think people truly believe that because I know how to turn on a computer and broadcast a show, I must also possess the cosmic wisdom to fix their Wi-Fi, repair their broken marriage, balance the checkbook, and mend whatever else happens to break or crack open that afternoon. I have to laugh about it because it's genuinely funny. But underneath the humor is a stark, heavy truth that took me a long, long time to understand. When enough people depend on you for long enough, they stop asking, "How are you doing?" They start assuming you're doing just fine. And if you're not careful, you start believing your own press. You start believing you're doing just fine too. You do. Thank you, daughter. My daughter says, you're Superman. You can do all of that. Roger says, a lot of times Sundays at 8 p.m., my strong person is you, Vernon. How are you doing? Roger, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate that so much. I'm doing great, my friend. Thank you for asking. August says it can be you. Hey, Miss Charlotte, good to see you. So the older I get, the more I realize that being needed and being okay are two completely different zip codes. I've worn a lot of different titles over the course of my life, and every single one of those titles comes stamped with a massive set of expectations. Somewhere along the line, if you aren't careful, people stop seeing the actual human being and they start seeing the role you play in their lives. Now, people, this is not all about me. I'm talking to you because you are that person in somebody's life. If you're the protector, you're supposed to be completely bulletproof. You aren't allowed to flinch when the arrows start flying. If you're the comedian, you're supposed to be ready to make people laugh on command, regardless of what's happening behind your own front door. If you're the speaker, you're supposed to walk into a room overflowing with inspiration, even if you feel completely empty inside. If you're the leader, oh man, you're supposed to have all the answers mapped out, ready to go on a notepad right there, even when you're looking at a fogged in road. And that's the facts. After a while, that dynamic creates a very specific kind of isolation. It can feel like nobody remembers that underneath all of those heavy titles, underneath the suit and the smile and the titles, is just another human being trying to figure out life one day at a time, just like everybody else. Let me tell you what that looks like behind the scenes. I've stood in front of crowds and made people laugh until they couldn't catch their breath. I've run businesses and given directives that turned operations around and helped people make money. But I've also climbed into my car after those major victories, closed the door, turned off the radio, and just sat there in the driveway in complete, deafening silence. Not because I was angry. Hey, Mr. Lanning. Not because I was angry at anyone. Not because anything terrible had happened. In fact, everything on paper looked like a massive success. I sat there because I was just incredibly, profoundly tired. I was tired. And I'm not talking about the kind of tired that a good 8 hours of sleep or a weekend nap could fix. I'm talking about the kind of deep exhaustion that settles right into the marrow of your bones. It's the kind of tired that takes up residence in your heart after you spent years carrying weights and secrets and pressures that nobody else even knows you're holding. That's a different kind of exhaustion completely, entirely. And I think far more people in our communities understand exactly what that weight feels like than we even care to realize. Hmm. August says, I want to go back to just private. Privates have responsibility too, there, soldier. It reminds me of a visual metaphor I carried with me over the years. Every single responsibility we take on in this life is like picking up a rock and dropping it into a backpack. Think about how your life started out. The backpack was light, but then you grow up, you take on a career, you help your kids with their struggles, you start taking care of your aging parents. Some of y'all did that. You start late at the office to fix someone else. You stayed late to fix someone else's mistake. You answered another desperate phone call at 9 o'clock at night. You show up for another friend's crisis. You handle another financial hiccup. Hey, Miss Marion, I was wondering about you. I saw your post about the hospital thing, so I'm glad that you're okay. Daughter, can you text your auntie and make sure she's okay? Can you do that for me? Thank you, dog. None of these rocks feel impossible to lift by themselves. If you pick up one stone, you think this is nothing. I can carry this. Uh, yeah, you're right. Nobody wants to see the clown cry. You're right. But you pick it up, you say, "Oh man, this is nothing. I can carry this. I'm strong." But the rocks accumulate week after week, month after month, year after year. And because you are the strong one, you never put a single rock down. You don't put a single stone, you don't take it out your backpack, you keep it, and you just keep walking. Then one random Tuesday morning, you wake up, try to swing your legs out of bed, and realize you've been carrying so much damn weight for so long that you've completely forgotten what it feels like to walk without it. You don't even know, you don't even know what light feels like anymore. And here's the scariest part of that entire scenario: the people around you, the people who love you the most, often don't notice that you are buckling under the weight. Why? Because they only see you doing what you have always done. They see you walking. So they assume the backpack isn't heavy. That is the exact mechanism that drives so many strong people into deep loneliness. It's not a lack of love. It's not that their family or friends don't care about them. It's simply because everyone in their circle assumes that somebody else must be checking on them. They think, oh, Vernon has 1 million people around him. Surely someone is asking, how's he holding up? Hmm. But when everyone else assumes someone else is doing it, nobody does it. Thank you, daughter. The truth that hit me the hardest in my own life was realizing that sometimes the reason people don't check on us isn't because they are selfish, it's because we've spent years masterfully convincing them that we don't need it. No, I'm good. We don't. No, I don't need. I'm good. We train them to believe we are invincible. Y'all saw my daughter call me Superman. That's my fault. How many times have you how many times have you been asked, how are you doing? And before your brain could even process how exhausted you are, your mouth automatically answers, "Oh, I'm good. Oh, I got it handled." Yeah. How many times have you put on a brilliant smile because smiling was easier. It was easier than trying to explain the tangled mess that was actually going on inside your head. How many times have you said, "Don't worry, I'll figure it out," solely because you desperately didn't want to feel like a burden to people you love? I've done every single one of those things. I've done them for years. And for a very long time, I walked around genuinely believing that masking my wearingness was the ultimate definition of strength. Now, now that I've lived a little bit more, I look back and realize it wasn't strength at all. It was fear. It was fear of being seen as inadequate. Hmm. Think about it. Think about the absolute darkest chapters of life that people go through. From the outside looking in, nothing appears out of order. A person is functioning perfectly. They're hitting their marks at work. They're doing the job. They're showing up at church. They talking. They laughing at the jokes, and they going through daily motions with precision. But inside their mind, there is a completely different story. August, you're right. They keep adding before you know it. Marion says, "Oh my God, I just did it." Um, Roger says, "I'm a shy, quiet guy, and so is Jaden. Trying to keep strong for everyone. You know what he's been through. We keep going with rocks. It's all we know. It affects him in his job too, I'm sure. Well, man, sometimes we gotta learn to put down some of them damn rocks. It is. Hmm. It's entirely possible for a human being to reach a place where they are quietly questioning whether tomorrow is even worth seeing, while still maintaining a pristine appearance, a flawless routine, having that warm smile ready for the grocery store clerk. That is the duality of the strong person. They know how to perform while they are evaporating. What changes? What changes a life when a person reaches that edge isn't somebody showing up with a magic wand, a checklist. No, that's not going to get it. And logical answers to their problems. Yeah, that's not going to get it either. It's just somebody showing up, period. They don't need the list and the magic wands and the logical questions. They just need somebody to show up, period. One real, unhurried conversation. One person who cares enough to look past the standard, "I'm good," and say, "Hey, I see you, and I know you're tired." That is often enough to remind a weary soul that they don't have to carry the dark by themselves. That's why we have to spend time on this show talking about hope, because you never truly know how life saving it can be when one person decides to carry enough to reach out. No, I'm sorry, cares enough to reach out to someone who looks like they have the whole world completely under control. We need that. Yeah. Delaney said, "What happened when you try to put down rocks, but people keep on their demands, putting on their demands because they refuse to understand?" Hmm. Sometimes no means no. Sometimes they got to find their way. Yeah. Think about the massive, invisible battles people are fighting right now being behind closed doors. As a society, we love to celebrate the victories, don't we? We love the highlight reels. We celebrate the big promotions, the clean medical records, the successful business. Hmm. Don't forget those neat little happy endings. What we don't see are the waiting rooms. We don't see the silent, heavy, suffocating drive home after a bad day. We don't see the people who work overnight and save lives and then try to drive home, but they're too exhausted to get there. So they pull over in the parking lot and go to sleep. We don't see that. We don't see the terrifying circular conversations people have with themselves when they're lying awake at 2 in the morning, staring at the ceiling, wondering what tomorrow holds and how they're going to get through it. How are they going to pay for it? Who's going to help them? Yeah, everybody loves a good comeback story, but very few people ever stop, ever, ever stop to notice what it actually costs that person to make one. We admire successful people every day we admire them every day without having any clue what they had to sacrifice to get there. We compliment someone's beautiful smile without realizing how much raw emotional effort it took for them to put it on their face that morning. And smile is the easiest thing that you can do. It only takes 14 muscles to smile. It takes 31 to frown. And we envy we envy someone's stoic strength without understanding just how dangerously heavy their backpack has become. Hey, Elizabeth, good to see you. Elizabeth says, yes, uh, the quiet growth through unimaginable pain is facts. Thank you, Roger. He says, I love the message tonight. Have you ever noticed that people who spend their entire lives helping everyone else are always the exact people who have the hardest time asking for help themselves? It's a universal law. Part of it is pure pride. We don't want to admit that we can't handle the pressure. Part of it is just old, deeply ingrained habits. We are so used to being the fixer that we don't know how to play any other role. And part of it is false theology. We build in our minds believing that because we've always carried the weight in the past, we are somehow obligated to keep carrying it forever, no matter how much it breaks our backs. I'm here to tell you tonight that I don't believe that anymore. Nobody in this room, nobody watching this stream was ever designed to carry the entire world alone. Not you, not me, not anybody. We all need somebody, whether we want to admit it or not. I deeply wish we were better at asking better questions. We've turned, how are you, into a social greeting instead of a genuine inquiry. Instead of throwing out a casual, how's it going, while our feet are already moving towards the exit door. Maybe we need to actually stop walking, look the person in the eye, and have the courage to wait for a real answer. Instead of finding reasons not to help. not to listen, not to understand. What if we just stopped and looked them dead in the eye and said, hey, how you doing? What's going on with you? Now, if you don't mean it, don't do it. It's that simple. Look that person in the eye. Have the courage to wait for a real answer. Stop assuming the strong people in our lives have everything handled just because they haven't complained. Maybe we should take a moment to remind them that they don't have to they don't have to have it handled all the time. Instead of waiting until a good person completely breaks apart, maybe we should start noticing when they are simply getting tired. But then there are some people who enjoy watching people break completely down. And sometimes they help in the process. Yeah. Sometimes they help in the process of watching that person break completely down. And some people revel in it, whether they admit it or not. So I want to take a step out from behind this microphone for a second and be completely transparent with y'all. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all tonight. I'm gonna keep it 100. Um, I've spent the last several minutes talking about the strong one. Like I'm analyzing a character in a book or talking about someone else out there in the world. But the truth is, I'm confessing. I've been that guy. I've been the guy who smiled when he was hurting. I've been the guy who kept moving forward when my tank was completely empty. Mr. Net sends me memes and videos periodically, and she doesn't just do it for laughs. She does it to remind me that I can't do it all by myself. She does it to remind me that I can't save everyone. And she does it to remind me that I can't save everyone. And that sometimes I just need a simple firm no is absolutely necessary for survival. Years ago, but see, let me add to that. I do want to try to help everybody. And I desperately want to help somebody when I see them completely needing help. No soldier left behind. Sometimes we do need to say yes, but sometimes no is necessary. Um, thanks, thanks. You say look like I need a hug right now. I'm just, I'm just telling you. That I'm delivering the message from my heart. Yeah, years ago, she set me down. Miss Nanette set me down and told me something that hit me right between the eyes. It's a piece of wisdom that has resonated with me mentally, emotionally, and financially ever since. She looked at me and said, you can't keep going back to the well because it's eventually going to go dry. When she first said it, it jarred me because as a provider, as a leader, a man, your instinct is to always find a way to dig deeper and find more water. But she was exactly right. You cannot give what you do not have. You can't finance everyone else's peace of mind at the expense of your own stability. But looking back now, I realized the reason nobody checked on my well for a long time wasn't because they didn't care about my thirst. It was because I'd spent years building a concrete wall around it, making sure they believed I had an endless supernatural supply and didn't need a single drop from anyone else. Maybe that is the exact lesson some of us need to hear tonight. If you're carrying something heavy right now, stop pretending that it isn't there. If you're completely exhausted, have the courage to say so. If you're hurting, let somebody who loves you know this. If you need help, whether that's professional help, financial help, or just an emotional shoulder, ask for it. Hurt people hurt people. Some people say that's real. Some say it's not. They do. Hurt people hurt the people closest to them because somebody else has hurt them. So they lash out. And that's their way of feeling better about themselves. Misery loves company. So if I'm miserable, let me find somebody else to make them miserable. And then I'll feel better. Asking for help is not because you're weak, but because you are human. And humans require maintenance. Yes, just like a machine, they need maintenance. And if a specific person's face came to your mind while you were listening to me talk tonight, do not ignore that instinct. Don't rationalize it away. Send the text message right now. Make the phone call on your drive home or whatever it is that you're doing. Don't just ask how they're doing in passing while you're busy. Actually show up on their porch. Ask. Ask them how they're really doing. Look them dead in the eye and then have the patience and the love to sit through the uncomfortable silence until they finally take off the armor and give you the real answer. You might be the exact reason they find the strength to make it through another day. I don't think real strength is measured by how much pain we can hide behind a grin anymore. I really think, I think real strength is having the vulnerability and the sheer courage to trust somebody. Trust somebody with the absolute truth of where you are. There are some wonderful people out here in this world that are hiding behind pain. They're struggling. And it's not that they don't know who to trust or who to love. They're just afraid of appearing weak and won't let those around them love them. So they got to be mean to everybody and treat them bad. But what they really need to do is open up and talk. Allow themselves to drop some stones. Please drop the stones. So, if you're the person that everyone else depends on, I want you to hear this directly from me tonight. You do not have to earn love by carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. You do not have to continuously prove your worth to this world by solving every single problem that lands on your lap. But I'm sorry, tongue tied. Put down the rock, drop a rock right now. Then put down another one and another one and another one. And let somebody who loves you walk beside you and carry a piece of the load for a while. Share the load. Two people can carry a whole lot more than one. And if you both keep dropping rocks as you walk together, the load gets lighter for both of y'all. Let them remind you that you're not alone in the wilderness and that needing help doesn't make you less of a leader, a person, a parent, a friend. It doesn't. The strongest people I have ever met in my entire life weren't the ones who needed. No, let's say that different. They weren't the person who never needed a hand. They were the ones who finally had the wisdom to realize they didn't have to carry life entirely by themselves. If that is where you find yourself tonight, I hope you'll take this truth to heart. Because I'm just telling you the facts. The people who truly, deeply love you would much rather help you carry the burden right now than spend the rest of their lives wishing they had known you were carrying it in the first place. I'm just telling you, hey, bro, hey, cuz, what's up, Mo? I'm just telling you the facts. Yes, Jesus did carry the load for all of us. That's true. I want to remind y'all that June is mental health month. You ain't got to just check on men, but check on women too. People are struggling out here. There are people who need help. And sometimes the only help that they can get is the help that you provide, that you're able to give them. Only you could probably help them lift some of the load that they need to lift. That's facts. So that's the message for tonight, y'all. I hope you've enjoyed it. Yes, I know there was a lot of emotion in tonight's message, but y'all, when I come to talk to y'all, I give it to you like I know it, straight from the heart. Anybody got any comments for me tonight before I close out the show? Mo, I hope you're healing up good, bro. I know I need to give you a call. I just been a little busy. But all right, well, if y'all ain't got nothing else for me, I guess we're gonna close it out and we're gonna do what we always do. Thank y'all for watching another episode of Messages in the Madness. I'm your host, Vernon Longhorn Davis. Just remember, I love you. God loves you. Take care of yourself, love yourself, respect yourself. I died 4 times. That was deep. Sorry. I love you. God loves you. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Respect yourself. Take care of them kids. Take care of them kids. Please take care of them kids. Respect our vets. Until next Sunday, which is Father's Day and Juneteenth, If you don't know about Juneteenth, you might want to find something out about Juneteenth. It means a lot to some of us, to a lot of us. Well, until next weekend, guys. I see y'all popping in. Stay safe. Love you. Love y'all. Delaney says, I get it. Cody says, I enjoy every message you bring us. Jill, hey, Jill, she says, thank you for this message tonight. You're welcome. Love you too, daughter. Mo, I'm glad you're still with us. I hope to get down to Jackson sometime soon to see you, my brother. Mo says, I was carrying everyone's load and he slowed me down. Yeah. Oh, brother, don't. That's a whole show for me. I can tell you about getting humbled. Woo, I can tell you about getting humbled. But anyway, we're not going to get into that tonight. So until next week, God bless y'all. $2.